Galactic Federation of Light Update, August 25, 2015. 3 Carbon, 10 Wuo, 12 Manic. Celemadbolic. The present world is one in which the old ways are still strong. Both financial and cultural events are getting ready to occur. The dark ran this surface world for nearly 13 millennia. Such a lengthy degree of control has set a number of cultural precedents that now need to be adjusted. You are to be freed from a seemingly endless debt slavery and a constant need for survival. These two items are to end with a debt jubilee and a coming prosperity. The Dark Cabal understands that its basic underpinnings are to be transformed and that they are to be isolated from you. These things are an anathema to them. Their fight to the death attitude may have delayed things, but their fate is truly sealed by heaven. The dark sits in a corner of its own making. It is bankrupt, filled with a useless fiat currency and unable to maintain its lies and massive innuendos. In short, it is quickly setting the stage for its demise. Forces are currently reviewing a number of scenarios by which all this is to end. This is to involve arrests, scandals, and a reform of governance that is to permit you to learn the truth of what happened since the end of World War II. America became a world power and quickly reversed every scenario it had followed since the end of the Civil War. America failed to embrace its civilian and isolationist tendencies, and instead quickly became the new British Empire. This process seriously altered how America works. It became a land seeking to establish itself as a vast defender of the old empire it used to resist. We watched as America created a set of lies that forged the present UFO cover-up. It fought illegal wars and persisted in keeping a draft that utterly altered the lives of many young Americans. America was doing the bidding of an oligarchy that was flexing its muscles to see just how powerful it had become. America was losing its soul and turning itself into something that Jefferson and his many associates warned about. America was creating an empire to aid the wealthy and powerful. The powerful had grown in great numbers following the culmination of the Civil War. By the beginning of World War I, this new clique had assumed its formal position of power. The rest of the 20th century was a repeat of what England did to maintain its status as a great power. The artificially produced depression was in fact a prelude to the Second World War. America left the war as a dominant power and created a Cold War to continue its dominance. Its means of following the cruel lead of the Anunnaki assured it the role as the major nation from which the Dark selected its primary minions. Nevertheless, the proclamations of Antara and the leaving of the Anunnaki in the mid-1990s created a stumbling, which was finally highlighted by 9/11 and the resulting wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. These temporarily permitted them to grab an additional decade plus, and brings us to the present dilemma. This is the final time when the inevitable really does occur. The present world is in a lockdown as to what our allies and us are setting up. We have promised both heaven and our earthly allies not to disclose much more. The Dark knows that a number of cases were adjudicated against them and that a grand legal force is readying to take them down. We presently stand at a precipice. A number of actions continue to move forward at their own assigned pace. We are watching intently as it all plays out. This time is to end your judgment of yourselves by the perceptions you have had since childhood. With the fall of the Dark, you can at last know what freedom is truly all about. When the Anunnaki left 20 years ago, they sincerely asked the Cabal to give up their ways and instead permit abundance and new governance to blossom. The Cabal decided against this, and, in the next decade, the American Cabal assured its dominance. This dominance has worn off as the world recovered from the deeds of the Americans. We ask you to be patient and to realize what is happening behind closed doors and kept secret. The Cabal seeks to somehow overturn this. There are too many who are now wise to the ways of the Cabal to let them win yet again. Therefore, know deep in your heart that you have won and that this is to be manifested shortly. Then, you are to be freed and a new realm manifested before you. Blessings. We are your ascended masters. This world is now in a great transformation. Over 2 decades ago, Heaven brought in a first contact team whose grand supervisors were to be the blessed orders of sisterhoods and brotherhoods, which comprise Gaia's orders of ascended masters. In the beginning, it required us to formulate a plan to replace the dark with a new light for this divine reality. After a decade of missteps, the tide slowly turned in the latter part of the first decade of the 21st century. We became able to forge a number of suitable strategies quite capable of achieving our various goals. The most important part of this was to explain to the many ancient families how the great resources collected over the centuries were to be used to undo the power and resources of the Dark Cabal. This is presently fully explained to these numerous factions, and a plan is currently in effect. The deadline for this sacred plan's conclusion is coming into view. This plan is approaching even as the dark threatens to pull the surface realm back toward an economic disaster. Here, we ask you to focus on success. The dark is not to be allowed to throw this realm into any form of chaos. Whether it is economic, philosophic, or even a pretense to cover for another war, so far, their attempts are failing. The dark cannot escape its chosen fate. Heaven's time to permit their silliness and keep you in the dark is finally at its end. The traps put in the dark's plans are being revealed to them as they watch. Hence, my dear blessed ones, be strong and trust in the Creator and the many appointed to bring Heaven's grand plans to fruition. The information needs to remain secret until the unseen parts of our plan are fully manifested. Dear ones, be grateful as this time is nearly at hand. We conclude our message filled with joy and the impending success for all. Long ago, Heaven gave this surface land to the dark for a set number of millennia. This lease is now ready to expire. The light was given a sacred mandate and is readying itself to oust the dark and bring you into a new land where you are free and truly prosperous. Take this time to prepare how and where you are to put into action the divine ways by which you can achieve the true goals of your heart. Together, we are to remake this realm and unite with our spiritual, inner earth, and space families. In this time of full consciousness, you are to learn about your spiritual and intuitive abilities. Notice how these powers are rising, and know, dear ones, that you are being readied for a most glorious set of times. We are to see how Gaia prepares for this and how you are to meet your brothers and sisters of the light. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Today, another message has gone out. The decrees of the Creator are being manifested. Be in joy and be ready to receive many gifts. Be well prepared to use your abilities to forge a new and magnificent reality. Good things happen to those who wait. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of Heaven are indeed yours. So be it. Selamat Gajan. Selamat Ya, Syrian for B1. And be in joy. Channeled by Sheldon Neidl. www.paoweb.com